All right, well, Mark Warnke with PatGoats.com. Hey, I wanted to kind of show you what I've been doing here in the new home and new pasture and new all that stuff. So I've set up a live feed so I can actually watch the goats myself, but I figured out how to get it online for you guys. So if you actually go to Twitch, which is just a website, if you look for Twitch and then do Pat Goat TV, you'll see it and you can see the goats. And I have different camera angles. So there's one there. There's one there, and then there's one on that tree over there, and it just gives different camera angles of all the setup. So the fun part is we're gonna have babies here real soon, and so I'm just doing the goat barn. So that's where I'm gonna be milking, and they're gonna have babies, and I'm gonna be able to separate the two. So it's gonna be Stormy and Cinder are having babies, and we're really excited about what they're gonna produce. And they got their own little feeder in their own little area, and you can see they're actually gated off. So then when we go through to here, what I've done is I've really made a really cool, pretty elaborate play structure as well. Got the same feeder, and some of you may notice that if you watch the live feed, one of my babies can get into that. I still haven't solved that one yet, but it actually really does great with solving waste and still working really good. And that's the design you want with horned goats. At least it's the best one I've found so far. But I've really added some cool things to the play structure. So you can see I stacked some logs up here. Had a friend who recently cut some stuff down, so I stacked some logs up, put a cool little bridge. And then one thing I've been experimenting with is these rubbing posts. And if you just put a post up like that, it's crazy how much they'll actually use it. And then it'll get the goats getting up on different structure. And I got a fun little log that they jump to, and then another big log pile over here. And I made this cool little perch on top. If you're ever wondering how they lay on that spot, it's just because I kind of built it into the nook of that, and then it sits on that big stump over there. And then they got another bridge, another big stump, and cool bridge. And they are actually using this little post spot. You can see though, and they do walk that, but you can see this one that's right, the one that's, well, here, I'll go under. This one that's right here, they've laid that one over. These are dug in the ground is what they are. The thing I didn't anticipate that I should have is that they use them as pounding posts, and so when it's muddy, they've pushed them over. So that's been kind of a pain in the butt, but you know, it's a learn as you go thing. So if you're ever going to put those in there, you got to put them really deep or literally concrete them in, because you know you'll get that headbanger, and I got a couple of them that like to do that. Now, as far as these perches have gone, I'm calling them nests. They've worked really well. I thought they were going to be definitely a home for the big boys. I thought they would be preferential, but it's not. It's the middle of the road and the babies that spend all their time up there. The big ones get up, but Gus is the only one who's an adult who spends a fair amount of time in there. And the other thing that isn't so great about this design is that when you put a nest like that over a feeder, I know I'm going to deal with, like during the summer, the poop turning into dust and then falling on the food and then spreading parasites. So you never want to have them, you know, getting their own poop and their own food, because again, it just makes their parasite load that much heavier. So I'm going to have to make an adjustment there. I'm going to have to either move the feeder. But one of my reasons that I do this, where I put a feeder like this, where you can see he's got to get his head down in there to get it. There's not a lot of waste, but there's still some waste. And when you get some waste, the nice part is when they have it in their barn like this, then it just becomes bedding. Because in our area, straw is about the same cost as alfalfa per bale. They're really close. So if I can find a way to kind of utilize their waste, then I get double duty and I don't buy straw anymore. So you can see that's kind of how that's all worked, and all that fun stuff, and they've used the heck out of it, so they do like it. But anyway, that's kind of an update on the new headquarters. It's pretty fun. My office is actually in the barn, so I actually, you know, I'm right I made it in. I had help, but I made it into the office, and it's been really nice to have that. So anyway, I hope that's a good update. Check out that Twitch TV thing, Pack Goats. We're actually going to have babies here in a couple of weeks, so make sure you're keeping an eye on it. You can subscribe to it. You can chat on it. It works at night, so you can see what they're doing at night. It's really cool. The eventuality is I'll have 8 different camera angles, and I'm hoping to set it up to where you guys can manipulate and change the camera angles and watch who you want, and when they're out in the pasture, watch them there when they're playing and all that fun stuff. So Mark Warnke, packgoats.com. Take care.